I guess the point of it is that for as big of a concept as Challengers is, it's still just us.
Yes.
Like this right here.
In the Midwest, you know the best is there waiting. So come and join the conversation. Highs to approve, fan and artist and creator too. This is how the Challengers do. What? Keep the conversation moving along. Keep bringing comics, keep your local store strong. It's hard and it's a job for the Challengers. What? Comics and conversation, y'all.
From Challengers Comics and Conversation in Chicago, this is Contest of Challengers, a comics industry business podcast with
Patrick Brower.
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 Patrick Brower and W. Dal Bush.
W. Dal Bush.
Dal Bush.
Dal.
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 W. Dal Bush.
Well, it's a Thanksgiving miracle.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's known for its miracles. That's a thing, right?
It's a well-known thing. And of course, it's not Thanksgiving when you're listening to this, but it is actually Thanksgiving Day that we are recording this.
To be clear, American Thanksgiving.
There are others?
Yeah, the UK Thanksgiving.
No, there's other countries?
Allegedly. You've been to some. Ireland, I think, right?
That's true. Exactly a year ago.
Back.
Exactly 1 year ago today, I was on my way to Dublin. And
It's been pining for the Irish fjords.
that I loved it so much that I am definitely trying to make plans to go back.
Sure. Does Recop have a convention in Ireland? Do they need a guest speaker at?
No,
Thought Bubble do they have a retailer track coming?
they thought Bubble was a week ago.
Well, next year, you know.
Yeah, that's true. No, I have a way of how to make it work, but I don't know how to afford it.
I assume that you're going in someone's very large carry-on bag. Is that right?
Something like that. I know I definitely want to go in December of 2026.
Okay.
I want to be there for Christmas, part of Christmas time.
Oh, Ireland do Christmas? They do a Christmas?
Oh my God, they do Christmas. Yeah, they do.
What is?
They decorate the entire city,
Oh yeah.
and lights go across the streets
Oh neat.
from building to building.
Sure.
And it's not just lights; it's all sorts of decorations and things.
Okay.
Black Friday, which for you and I is tomorrow,
Yeah.
but for everyone listening was a day or two ago,
Depending on when this goes up.
is a big deal in Ireland.
Why?
It's just a big sales day. Like
No,
it is literally
Okay.
a sale holiday. They don't do our Thanksgiving,
Sure.
but they do celebrate Black Friday. Like they've taken that from us
Weird.
and made it a capital D thing.
That's what we've exported Black Friday.
Yeah, commercialism.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, consumerism at its peak.
I realize I'm asking a lot of questions about Irish Christmas, the thing you have not attended.
Correct.
Do they have like any sort of different mascots than we have? Is it just Santa Claus?
There are. I will not get into it now, but I do highly recommend anybody go to Chris Schweizer's either his Patreon or just his Facebook page, because he does in-depth detail descriptions and artwork of what he calls the companions of Christmas.
Sure. Your basic Christmas mascots around the globe
Oh,
and through history.
I quibble with your word basic. Deep dives.
Sure. I guess. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking more in the terms of like what I've seen him produce for sale,
Yes.
which are basic in the sense of like it is several paragraphs, which is still like for some of the most like bizarre and forgotten.
Yes. There's not a corner of the globe or a belief system he hasn't investigated. Today, I can't remember the specific character's name, but it's a Puritan. It's a villain of Christmas, and it is a Puritan who would, when Christmas was banned in Massachusetts, he was like early.
Okay.
He was the person that would roam the streets on Christmas and cite anybody that had decorations or was having a feast or shops that gave their employees the day off.
Wow. Puritans, really fun part of America's history.
And there was heavy fines. So anybody that saved up to celebrate Christmas lost all their money just paying their fines.
Just the most fun people.
Yeah. Now
America.
he still lives on in the war on Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Great.
Yeah. That was today's drop because obviously it's a Thanksgiving based outfit.
Sure. You're Puritans and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah,
The thing I always share on Thanksgiving in various places is the classic exchange from King of the Hill, one of the early Thanksgiving episodes, where it's Dale and the rest of the Gribbles driving John Redcorn. And Dale turns to John Redcorn and says, "Do your people even celebrate Thanksgiving?" And John Redcorn goes, "We did once." And it's great.
Oh, man.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, we're recording a podcast on Thanksgiving, and this does not mean we are back full-time to the podcast, but it also doesn't not mean that. We're going to play it by ear.
Sure. Literally, this is happening because Patrick demanded it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think we could do this, but I also know that Dow has been working so much harder than normal and will continue to do so through Christmas.
Mhm.
He always works hard, but this is harder,
Yeah.
I guess longer, more.
Yeah, there's a little bit, more hours for sure, and a little bit more tasks that I'm taking on that normally would be delegated to other people are now like, well, I guess I'll do them. I did tell a bunch of people that my plans for Thanksgiving were probably to do some work from home because that's pretty much what I do every day.
Yeah, you put
And
that.
I have.
You put
and
that.
I will.
You put that in the video.
I did.
It's okay. I've already
One of the things I have to do later today is I finally have to have had the tab open 4 weeks is fill out the professional application for C2E2 badges.
Oh, I didn't know those were up yet.
Yeah.
Torn, and if I want to meet Christopher Eccleston,
Knowing that he won't look like the Doctor Who.
that is the reason I don't want to do it.
No.
Yeah.
You don't want to meet him because he's Malekith?
No.
No.
They wasted him in that movie.
How about Destro?
Never saw that one.
Yeah, he's not great then.
Which one was it? 1 or 2?
First one.
Yeah, I only ever saw 2.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, my memory of it is he doesn't wear the mask a lot because it's the traditional, like, we hired this visible and expensive actor. We're not going to put him under a mask for the whole movie.
Oh, Malekith what?
Uh-huh. He had
that-
face paint.
Yeah, it was makeup.
On his face. Like,
Yeah.
he wore a mask like once or twice and they took it off. As opposed to your Mandalorians where they leaned into like, oh, we've got Pedro Pascal, but we don't have him on set a whole lot. So let's make sure that his character has a reason to never take his mask off except for one episode out of the season.
So, Dal, so far we've taken 2 weeks off
From the podcast.
from the podcast. Yeah. So far I've taken 2 weeks off, 2.5 weeks off. Look, I'll be back Christmas Eve. Everybody, I'll be back at the store on Christmas.
What a great reason for people to come back on Christmas Eve. I mean,
but also for an hour of Christmas Eve, I will not be there. I will be next door getting a haircut,
okay.
getting a Christmas haircut.
People can just go over to Black River
Yeah.
and say hi to you there.
Absolutely.
I'll send people over if they
Sure.
come in and they're like, where's Patrick? He's
Next door. Let's say hi. What's been going on in the comics industry?
No idea. I did no preparation for this, which is stupid. I probably should have looked at a few things.
And I there were things that were happening over the last couple of weeks. I'm like, oh man, that's the thing we should talk about.
Mhm.
Never wrote it down. Never committed to memory.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of things that have been going on. New catalogs. I mean, a lot of things that I've been dealing with are just the more traditional day-to-day monthly cycle sort of stuff where there's new catalogs up and I'm unpacking boxes.
I can say
Files and everything.
that as far as recent patterns that have emerged that are bad patterns and negative patterns, there has been an issue where we've been getting Lunar late, very late, and incomplete shipments.
Mhm.
And there was, in this time off, there was 1 week where everything was right. And then they immediately went back to forgetting a box.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully we haven't really been in a position where stuff has been lost or we've had huge chunks, knock on wood, of the shipment being unsellable. It's usually just things showing up at kind of like
Inopportune time.
not the last minute, but
Yeah.
sizable shipments that are showing up with not a ton of time to unpack and receive them. Thankfully for the Batman Deadpool week, all of those were fine. We were shorted a bunch of copies of the A cover of Lost Fantasy #6, I think.
Frankie Jonas debut issue.
But we still had the B cover, so if people wanted to pick that up, and we didn't sell out of the B cover, so no one went without. There's just a few subscribers that maybe are waiting a couple weeks to get their copy of their cover.
That's the thing that sucks, is waiting a couple of weeks, not waiting the next week.
Yeah, and
It's at least 2 weeks when there's an error.
yeah, mostly because we're not getting stuff in early enough on the schedule so that by the time we report it, they're already packing the next week's book. So you are going to be waiting 2 shipments now instead of just 1, which we've gone over in the past. What has been going on? I mean, there's stuff that I don't know that we're really equipped to talk about. Angoulême seems like it's not happening in 2020.
Oh man, Angoulême seems like it's imploding.
Yeah, I mean,
I regret never having been to Angoulême, and there was, I want to say, 2016. I think I thought I was going
Mhm.
to run or to work with Eliza Fry for her table.
Sure.
But then she wound up not going.
Yeah.
I remember I had gotten my passport renewed specifically for that.
Oh, geez, yeah.
And then I got it renewed since then to make sure it was good for Ireland.
Oh, Ireland. We never talk about that. Yeah, Angoulême.
It's pronounced Ireland, but go on.
The Beat has been doing some really good reporting on that. Various folks chiming in on it. And
For people that don't know, Angoulême is a comics festival that takes place in the city of Angoulême, France. And it is
it's like
a huge celebration of
it's a public-private partnership where there's a company that's running it, but then the city and the country has certain oversight because it's considered a cultural good.
yeah, a lot of a huge festival, not a convention, a festival.
Yeah, there's prize winners amongst the creators, and winning the grand prize at Angoulême is a huge honor.
It used to be a huge honor.
Well, I mean, I think it still is. It's just not the people running it. But there's been a ton of controversy where the company that's been running it for a long time came under fire for a lot of negative elements of their stewardship. There was a woman who was sexually assaulted. The showrunners covered it up, or at least didn't address it in a useful and prominent enough way. There's also been a lot of just general poor management of the festival. So basically a lot of creators had said, like, hey, this company should not be running it. And yeah, again, go to the Beat. They did all the ins and outs. This has been a very convoluted story. But basically what had looked like the creators and publishers saying this company shouldn't be involved became like, all right, well, we'll get a new company to run it and everyone can bid on it. Oh, surprisingly, the company that you all hate won the bid and they get to keep doing it. And it's like, yeah, this is so it reached a point where enough people had dropped out of the show that now it's just, it literally can't happen. It's not just creators, including people who were supposed to have massive exhibits this year because they had won last year, but it's also publishers, and this thing would have looked like a ghost town. There would have been like 6 people set up for a show that would normally take over an entire town. But again, I don't know if that's the sort of thing that you and I are really equipped to talk about. One, I don't think you've read all this stuff on it, and two,
I've read some of it.
It's not like we go to Angoulême.
True. David Harper's been posting some stuff as well, but also been linking to the Beat.
But it is kind of fascinating just to see the thing I've always admired about Angoulême, and some of the stuff maybe like Comic-Con out in Japan, is how it feels like a very different exploration and celebration of comics as a medium, rather than the kind of like comics being adjacent to larger pop culture trends that we see in conventions in America.
Yeah, it is definitely a tribute to the medium, and only the medium, not the, hey, look at all these other things that we can do for entertainment as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does not look like it will happen. And
no,
they were ultimatums of like
2020.
Yeah, get rid of these people or we're all out of here.
Yeah.
And they're all out of there.
Yeah, and Angoulême on the calendars early in the year, so they're really at a point where it's like
February.
Yeah, this was the point in the year where you would need to start, like, here's the show poster, here's the schedule of events, here's where things are going to be happening at. It's like, well, no one's participating, so you have nothing. Comic book industry-wise, I'm trying to think of stuff. Humanoids, did we talk about Humanoids bankruptcy?
No, we hadn't talked about that yet.
Humanoids is bankrupt in the U.S. Humanoids is the main publisher of a lot of the Mobius stuff, a lot of the Jodorowsky stuff. They are the U.S. arm of a European publishing company, but they're, I think, independently owned, and that the U.S. part went real bankrupt.
They've tried numerous reboots and relaunches. They had they brought in Mark Waid, like, I don't know, a decade ago to be their editor-in-chief, to go over and to, like, try to build. And I'm getting some of that confused with, there was another smaller publisher, I forget who brought in Gail Simone to be their chief architect for their superhero universe.
Magnetic or somebody?
Something like that. It wasn't Magnetic, but it was a smaller, and they did.
I can definitely see the covers in my head.
Yeah, and I remember reading like the high school superhero book, but I don't want to attribute one's efforts to the others. But they did try to really break into the single issue comic book market in America numerous times when, they're a European company and their forte is graphic novels.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've carried Humanoid stuff, and I think for most readers, they're just, again, like the Jodorowsky Mobius company. They are the Incal company.
Yeah.
Which is what we've been getting a bunch of requests for recently. And I did not think we'd be able to get any more stuff, but Simon & Schuster sent out an email saying, hey, Humanoids is bankrupt, but they're in receivership, basically. And their books are still being put out by somebody. Somebody is in charge of that now, and they are putting that stuff out. So it basically seemed like a business as usual for backstock.
Yeah.
And we did get a couple copies of the hardcover in from Ingram recently.
Oh, great.
Which was like, okay, cool.
Great.
Did we ever talk about the how the Tiny Onion
James
went?
Tynion thing? I don't know that we did.
I think that we were recording right before we were doing that.
Yeah.
You were going to be out of commission right after.
Yeah.
So I never got to do like a post-mortem on it.
That's true. And I was almost going to, after the fact, do a quick little one on my own to have it in the can ready for us, but I didn't do that.
I guess we could just do it now then, Patrick. Do you remember what it was like a couple weeks ago being in the comic shop?
Yeah, so if the last episode that we recorded, everyone should remember from all of our, I can't think of the word, not tribulations, but when we're worried about it ahead of time.
Uh-huh.
Well, I can't think of the word to be like trepidations.
Sure.
That's why I was thinking of tribulations, like all of our trepidations going into it, but it went as smooth as it possibly could have.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about having, 70-something people inside a very small comic shop, and look, there's smaller comic shops in the world, but I still think of like 1,500 square feet across Sidekicks and Challengers as being a small comic shop.
Sure.
We do our best with our aisles to make sure that people don't feel too crowded, and we've heard from a lot of people that it's a very spacious store, and a lot of that is kind of just visually how we're laying things out to make it feel a little bigger than it is. Our high ceilings also help with that. Again, a visual choice we made. But in general, the store is not built to have that many people inside. When we do something like Free Comic Book Day, we stagger how many people can come in the store.
Well, we'll get like 1,000 people over the day. It's not at one time.
Yeah, we have a line that wraps around, and we make people go in through the Free Comic Book room so that
we navigate their flow of traffic.
So that there can be somebody who is basically making sure, okay, 3 more people can come in. Okay, 5 more people can come in. Okay, everyone needs to wait here for a couple minutes. So that way people go through.
That's my brother George.
Yeah, they go through the free comic space, then they go into the shop. And then there's people kind of at each area to understand, like, okay, the store maybe has too many people in it, so maybe we need to put brakes on it for a second. Or, everything is a little empty. We can bring a group of people in bigger than normal.
So to accommodate, 80 plus people when you include staff and their staff.
And that was when we were setting this up, we were kind of trying to figure out, like, well, one, what can James get through as far as signings and stuff? Because we want to make sure that anyone who's attending this will get a chance to get something signed. We didn't ever want to run into the position of, you come out for this event, you're here for several hours, sorry, the line's capped, go home. But it's also November, and we can't just leave people outside in the line. We don't know what the weather's going to be like. So we had to make sure that, how are we fitting all these people into the store at one time? Because they will all be here at one time. This is not phases of people that are coming out. This is everyone's here from start to finish.
And we had conferred with the Tiny Onion people about how many people they predicted James could get through in the hour and a half designated signing time. And they said 100.
Yeah, and we buffered it a little down.
Yeah, we buffered it down to make sure people got more of an experience, and we cut it to 80. So 80 was our choice.
Right.
And in hindsight, he could have easily done the 100.
Sure, but I'd rather err on the side of, like, everyone got out of there a little early rather than, again, I do not want to run the risk of him having to stay late or whatever. Especially as it turned out, like, he had, a rough travel day because everyone in the country was having rough travel days at that point.
Yeah, they were reducing flights by 4%, 6%
during the government shutdown.
15%, 1,500%.
Things were tricky, and there was every chance that, he might not even make it in time, but thankfully he did.
Yeah.
Barely, but he made it in time.
And each of the 3 Tiny Onion people were coming from a different part of the country in a different way.
Right.
Some from Seattle, some from New York, some from St. Louis, in all like different modes.
Right.
So it was a perfect storm of, will this work? We had all of their merch already. By the way, do we still have their merch?
Still do.
Oh, goodness.
Mm-hmm.
We had all of their merch that they sent to us ahead of time, so it was waiting. They just had to set up their own little area. I think it was fun the way we set them up in between the bookshelves between horror and crime. So they had double-sided table front.
Right.
So they got people coming and going in the line.
Yep.
And I think that helped them navigate more traffic.
I hope it did.
And I think it gave them more of a booth feel than a table feel, you know?
Yeah. That's good. I mean, I hope they had a good time. And in general, hopefully everybody had a good time. That's always my metric for like, was an event a success?
Yeah.
It's always gauche to talk about the money part of it. And so when people ask me like, did it go well? I don't want to be like, oh my God, we made so much money. Like I dislike having that discussion with customers. I don't mind it in an industry sense with like, if we had that discussion with another shop owner or like a publisher or something, that's a thing that we maybe would say. But when someone's asking me in the store, like, how did it go? I think everybody had a good time.
Yeah. But also the overexcited, oh my God, we made so much money is never a way a Challengers event ever goes.
Yeah. And honestly, the few times that has happened, it's always been tempered with and then something else insane happened at the same time, which sort of like not tainted it, but also made it feel weird. Like,
yeah,
Rick and Morty Day was the thing that we talked about for a long time as being like one of the most insane sales days, but it also came with a whole lot of weird baggage to it.
Yeah.
That now is part of the discussion when we talk about Rick and Morty Day. Thankfully, this was not on that scale as far as aggravations.
No.
Even if it also wasn't on the scale of the money we made.
Yeah. It was everybody did have a great time.
Great.
The social media posts afterwards were wonderful. Mm-hmm. Tiny Onion put out a video, a retrospective video of like their thing, and I thought it looked great.
Did they have the footage of me filming on top of the counter?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that is great because that is the thing I wish we would do all the time for events like that. And I was actually happy that it was done. So good work.
Yeah, I mean it was basically like
you were on the count. You just didn't hold it straight up.
I think Jasmine was filming, and she was kind of just like, ground level, sort of walking around talking to people. I'm like, give me this. I jumped up on the counter and I had everyone wave.
So you're the reason that she left the top to the camera behind.
No, I had nothing to do with that. It was already operable when she was around, so like I didn't have to do anything with it.
She was very excited to use that. It was like a new filming device.
Yeah. I think it was a fun night. The thing that we always have an issue with for any event we do is just how do we make money on it? Which seems like a stupid question, but when it comes to comic shops, these are not easy answers. It's
so when you get to the root of everything we've ever done, Challengers is still a mom and pop store, and it's us. We're the mom and pop.
Right.
This is our store. We started it. We run it. We have wonderful help from a lot of people, but it is just one store, and it's our store, and it lives or dies by our decisions and the things that we do.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, like the people who help.
Wait, I just kill my momentum.
I'm sorry, Patrick.
Well, it's gone now.
Okay, the people who help us, they look to us to tell them what needs to be done. Like this is not a situation where we have a large staff that is generating a lot of ideas and a lot of possibilities and stuff. It's for us top down to be like, here's the event, here's what people need to do, here's what your task is during this event, that sort of thing.
But also, this day of thanks, I want to thank each and every one of them for believing in Challengers and being part of what we do and making it work like they do, especially for how they made it possible for the two of us to go to New York for 5 days, which is a thing that we never thought would have been possible and have never even tried to do in 17 plus years. But, right now where we're looking at Small Giving Saturday and those kind of things. And
Business Saturday.
That's, yeah.
Is it called Small Giving?
I was Giving Tuesday, Cyber Monday, all these things are mushing together in my brain.
Sure.
So Small Business Saturday. Thank you. You give us on Small Giving Saturday.
Small Giving Saturday. Yes, I will buy one single bag and board. Oh, thank you.
Lucy Nisley had a great post of all the things she's done to shop small, think small, support small this week.
Okay.
And it's not just like going to a small store. It's a whole mindset.
Curling yourself up in a tight ball when you get there.
It's as small
as possible.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of stores do a lot of really heartfelt and good posts and a lot of like, hey, be sure to, support us this Small Business Saturday, which is a moot point for this podcast because that is it's over by the time people are hearing this. But we never have had like a killer sales day for Small Business Saturday. We do the Black Friday sale that we're doing this whole weekend. And I guess the point of it is that for as big of a concept as Challengers is, it's still just us.
Yes.
Like this right here. By the way, we are not in the podcastatorium.
No.
We are
I
actually
think the acoustics are different.
are on a floor above it.
Mhm.
Because as you all know, the podcastatorium is underground.
Yes. Deep underground.
This is actually slightly above ground, not ground level. So the altitude is different. That's why I was mixing up words before. I'm not used to this.
Well, you're not getting enough oxygen to the brain. Sure.
It's clearly that.
Dangerous.
Clearly that. So the social media posts from everybody on the Tiny Onion, the Corpse Tour were great. Jaslyn Stone and Devin Funches from Tiny Onion were so easy to work with. In person, they were a well-oiled machine. They were also in sync with each other, but in sync with us. Like our concerns were their concerns at the same time. Like we would approach each other to say, hey, look out for, and they're like, oh yeah, no, that. And so everybody was on board. And James was a delight. He was so personable and so generous with his time, so fun and funny and energetic, but also reserved and soft-spoken at the same time. One of the things we endeavored to do was to have the people that had we had the 2 ticket levels, the premier ticket level, which was you were inside sidekicks for the Q&A and discussion, and there was a limited number of people we could fit there.
Yeah, that was the thing that that was a hard cap on, like, this is how many bodies can fit in this room without cramming against each other.
And then we had everybody else, the overflow, just the signing line was in the store, but we didn't want them to feel left out. So we were racking our brains with how to get the experience of the discussion into the other half of the store. And you'd work with some apps.
Yeah, we had a basic idea on how we could leverage. Well, I mean, it worked okay, but it would have required like miking them up a little bit more. And you had the idea of like, well, we just have a PA.
Yeah,
let's just use
my old band PA lives in the back of Sidekicks.
Yes, my thing would have been like similar to how we would do the podcast, where there's like microphones, and then that feeds into an iPhone, and then the iPhone then would be transmitting to the Bluetooth of our receiver in the store, and then the speakers throughout the store would be playing whatever the Q&A was.
So when I was getting all the tech stuff set up, and I pulled out the box of gear, and a lot of it was stuff that we had bought to regularly record the podcast in the store. Mic stands, microphones, the pop shields.
Oh, wow.
To stop the noise, which we did not employ for this. And there were 3 different sets of microphones, because there was the ones that came with the PA, a cheap set that I'd bought early on, and then a newer set that I upgraded to. And we always have problems with the mic connections going into the PA. And it had been years since I dusted that PA off.
Sure.
It's a Fender PA, but it's built to look like a fancy suitcase. Everything snaps together into one very heavy suitcase-looking contraption. So I literally had to dust it off. I had to clean the whole surface.
Wow.
Because it was just covered in dust in the back. Sure. And then it's always how does this work again? Which chords go where? And there was a lot of trial and error with me, Lizzie, and Gina. And then we ran the 2 speakers into Challengers itself, and everything was set up, and it was working great. But early on, for whatever reason, Jaslyn's microphone cut out. So luckily, people still got to hear all of James's answers.
Right.
They just never heard the questions.
Right. But the context was usually pretty clear.
Yeah. And if one of their mics was going to go out, I would rather it be hers as opposed to his.
Otherwise, we probably would have gone into the room, and instead of trying to fix everything, would have been like, can you just switch microphones?
Yeah.
Just so we could at least hear him.
Yep. I don't know. I still think it's a problem with the way the cable connects to the bottom of the microphone. And so long as nobody touched their microphones, everything was fine. But events past, I've had to tape it on, but I don't like doing that because that leaves tape residue on all the gear.
So it's probably just somebody, like Jaslyn might have adjusted her microphone.
Yeah, and then it just cut out. Yeah. But it was such a low-tech solution when we opened the store. It was a high-tech thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And the best of it, in the bottom of this box was this old handheld recorder I bought specifically because Colt Cabana used to use the exact same piece of gear for his podcast.
Oh, wow.
And you would, God, I don't remember how this works because iPods didn't record, but you would like snap your iPod into it. Yeah, it was a weird thing. We used it a few times, but it never made the recordings that much better.
Okay.
And it was a hassle to always have and, to be plugged in.
Right.
And so you're limited in movement. It's amazing to me to see all the gear we've bought for the podcast over the years that we just don't use.
Sure.
Technology advances so quickly. And the things that we use now are so tiny and inexpensive compared with how much money we spent. And if you go to our Patreon page, the video we recorded way back in the day asking for money.
Sure.
And it was always in service of upgrading our gear.
Right.
And now we have just the most stripped down version.
We do, but it works and it sounds good. I think a lot of it is that we've shifted more towards taking that money and instead of upgrading the technology, upgrading the software.
Yeah.
Where you're using a lot more sophisticated tools to polish things up. And some of it is just, this podcast might sound the same, but it's less individual work you have to do when something can just be automated if you're willing to pay money for an app that will automate it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good use of the money. So that, more expensive microphones that are cumbersome and don't necessarily make things better.
I mean, there's a lot of very professional podcasts who sound way better than ours technologically wise, but as you routinely point out, this is not a major revenue stream for us. This is just a small added value to the Challenger's shopping experience.
Yeah. I mean, the hope of this is always that it feeds back in some way into the store.
Yeah.
If not, literally in I'm going to start buying stuff at challengerscomics.com. Hey, we have a website, Patrick, people will buy stuff. But sometimes in the larger sense of it makes people aware of the store who might mention it to other people, who might repost something of ours on social media, who might mention it to a creator who then might do a signing at the store or whatever. So that the kind of brand awareness aspect of it is valuable. But
over the years,
there's no version of this where we switch full time to doing the podcast.
Oh, yeah, no.
And the store goes away. That's not part of the long-term strategy.
Neither of us would want to do that.
Contest of Challengers.
And while we look at other podcasts that do incredibly well and have a video component, and I frequently think, should we?
We were just talking about this a couple days ago.
Yeah, we were. But look at us both right now. You.
I got to look at myself too, Patrick.
Yeah. So this is what people would be seeing.
Sure. Well, that's the thing. You would have to dress it up.
Yeah.
And I mean that.
And you could edit it, whatever we're talking about, put that on the screen. And
there's way more production work that goes into it. This is the thing that I always have a tough time thinking about is I don't watch any of that stuff. So I don't know, A, what it looks like, or B, what people think it should look like.
Yeah. And
I'm thinking about it in terms of you need to look professional. You need to look good, or it needs to be visually appealing in some way. But again, as you just said, probably not the case.
Oh yeah, it's always just, if it's a 2-person podcast, it's usually a split screen where it's just the camera focusing on them.
I assume people were just filming from their computers,
yeah, exactly.
Which I mean, I could do. I don't. I think it. I don't. The change I have to make in my mind is that I always think of it as how is the experience any better than just being an audio podcast? But the thing I realized semi-recently is that it's not about the experience being plussed up in some way, so much as people are just getting the podcast experience watching things on YouTube now, so it needs to be there.
Right. And ours is on YouTube, and it's always a static image created specifically for YouTube. When I make the images, they're sometimes different, the Apple version versus the Apple and the Libsyn version are always the same.
Sure.
But the YouTube one is a different format, different shape and size. And sometimes they're completely different images, but almost always they're the Apple one is a dumbed down version of the big one for YouTube. And there are podcasts that I watch. Like I love The Rest is Entertainment, which is in pop culture, basically movies and TVs, but not strictly podcast. But I do the YouTube version, but I don't watch it. I play it while I'm doing other things.
Sure.
And I could easily do that on a podcast feed, but for some reason I have it in my head like, oh, The Rest is Entertainment, that I only do that on YouTube.
Yeah, and that's, I think, a lot of it is that just for a lot of people, YouTube is the platform they're always on.
Yeah.
So instead of, they could go to a different app or a different screen or whatever, or a different device and listen to a podcast, but they're already just on YouTube anyway, so they're more likely to watch a video version of what you're doing. And I don't know that like a static image is sufficient for them. Like even if you're not sitting there staring at it, you still want there to be some sort of actual video component. And I think there is, benefit to having it show what you're talking about. Like if we're talking about Angoulême, here's a picture of Angoulême. Here's a picture of people at a festival, so you understand what this is. When you're talking about the Tiny Onion event, here's pictures from the Tiny Onion event. Here's showing you what it looks like in the stores. It's grounding it a little bit more in your brain.
Also, we did not record any of the audio because we didn't feel that it was our place to do so.
No.
To share it elsewhere because it's their thing.
Yeah. That was just for the people who were attending the event.
Also, it would have been a lot harder to record the audio with everything else we were doing tech setup wise.
Yeah.
As far as adding things to video component things, it's just so much extra time. Even just
I am not in favor of it. Let me just make that clear.
If it was even if we were just filming the two of us, we would not be in the podcastatorium. We'd have to be in our separate offices,
right?
Each filming from our own computer system. Yeah. And then I would have to assemble the footage.
Well, so this is the thing. Like, I think in order to really do this, we would have to have a third person who would be putting together the video package. It does not make sense for you and I to do it, not only in a sense of like there's not enough hours in the day or enthusiasm for us to do it, but also we would have to figure that out in a way where somebody with a little bit more expertise in it would probably be like, that's easy, I can just do that.
Yeah. Also,
so if people want to support the Patreon, maybe we get to a level, like do they still have levels and goals and stuff in Patreon? Is that still a thing?
I mean, there's
we make X amount a month, this happens. I know it used to be a thing. I haven't gone to Patreon in a while, so I don't know if that's the thing.
We don't have any levels like that.
Okay.
But we could.
But yeah, I mean, if people genuinely wanted that, like we would have to figure out who would be producing it.
Yeah.
How much do they need to make this happen? And then say, if it gets to this level, we can pay them and this can be a thing. But we've done 1 or 2 episodes over the years where we've not been in the same room together.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's possible.
No, I was going to say, like, for one, I think I had COVID or something.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we can't be in the same place. I think those suck. I think us not being in the same room.
Especially not looking at each other because there's always a level of pause. And I use Zencastr whenever we are interviewing somebody who's not local or not with us.
Mm-hmm.
However, I had to upgrade Zencastr last time. It was when we did Kyle Higgins, and it's almost coming up to a year where we need to redo that.
Uh-huh.
But Zencastr's whole dashboard setup had a really great new feature, which I took advantage of, is you could pre-load drop-ins.
I don't get it.
So, like, we've got the dashboard of me talking, Andrew talking, Kyle talking, right? So I can see the levels and all that kind of stuff. But at the controls on the top, there's buttons you could add. And over the years, I've collected a lot of sound effects for this podcast.
Okay.
So I could load those in as buttons. So I loaded a bunch of Dal quotes. So you were part of that podcast as well.
Jesus.
So at any given point, I could just push a button and then your sound bite would air.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't approve this. Is this AI?
No, it's not AI. It was stuff like you saying, "Oh, well, this one's going to be a winner."
Oh, why did you say that?
God, this one's going to be a winner.
It's stuff really good non sequiturs
Okay, good.
to keep you as part of the podcast.
Great.
That's completely untrue. You're a liar. I quit this podcast.
But I mean, you could load it with like, I don't know, I think it was 6 is the maximum.
Okay.
So it could be like any sound effect. Like you want a toilet flushing or a door slamming or, applause.
Sure.
They have their own pre-built-in ones.
Okay.
But once I realized I could add some,
Mhm.
I added like Vincent Price's laugh was one of them.
Okay.
Things like that. I don't know if it saves. I think I have to rebuild it but I would anyway, depending on who I was talking to or how. But that is what I do when somebody else is not here. But the point you were making is that there's a natural drag that happens when, if you're not looking at the person, you don't know that they're done talking.
Yeah.
Or when you can jump in, and there's a lot of over talking, and then each person stops.
Yeah, like I'll see that especially even on video stuff, where in theory you're looking directly at the other person, and there should be a natural flow to the conversation, but there sort of isn't. There's just a little bit of I don't want to say distance because that means something else, but a little bit of there's no energy to it. You're not in a room with another person having a conversation. It's a Zoom meeting.
And
Different thing.
we used to joke where in the place we used to record the podcast at, that we had a big lit tree, that one over there, in between us. We didn't have to look at each other, but we were still right next to each other, and you could still
Right.
A, see the person, and B, feel the live energy in the room.
Right.
And now that tree is not there, and we're just in very plush, fancy pink fabric chairs
Mhm.
next to each other.
Yep.
Angled slightly away from each other, though, just enough. One of the reasons I don't like the idea of any type of Zoom meeting or Microsoft Teams meeting or anything is specifically where my computer is set up in my office. The way the camera looks out behind me, it's not a good visual backup. It's just,
Mine's good. It's on my transform.
yeah, yours is great. That's why I brought to my office the old convention banner.
Yeah.
So I will set that up behind me. It doesn't block the whole area.
But it draws attention away from
Yeah. Just
stuff.
the space in the background, which is not, it's part of my living space. It is not. I would love to have a backdrop I just pull out, or
Again, maybe that can be like a Patreon level.
I did download a bunch of fun Zoom backgrounds in the pandemic. 2 different TARDIS interiors, the Hall of Justice and the Batcave.
What would a Challengers one be? It wouldn't just be the logos. Would you make like
Oh, it'd be the store.
okay.
It would just like the new comic wall or some of the graphic novel shelves.
Okay.
Whatever is a good horizontal image.
Gotcha.
Or maybe the storefront, the windows on the outside.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
I don't have a take on this. I hadn't thought about
Yeah.
it. Like I would usually just think about the way I've usually seen it, like photo ops and stuff is very it would just be the Challenger C or whatever.
Yeah, like the C and then the word, the name and the C. And like literally I've always wanted to make a better one of those as like a photo backdrop for the store.
Sure.
But it is an unnecessary extra expense. Speaking of,
Well, I was also going to say for that, like, where would we even put it? Like, that's the problem. Is like when we're trying to do
depends.
photo ops, like,
Yeah.
where in the store would that not be in the way?
it would be case by case basis.
But it would
Yeah.
always be in the way.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But it wouldn't be huge.
speaking of unnecessary expense,
So one of the things we've always wanted to do but never will do because of the expense is like custom bags, not tote bags. We have those.
no, like
But,
customer
like,
bags,
Customer bags, yeah.
the thing you leave with.
Yeah.
Because we get people sometimes, especially tourists, they're not
They-
familiar with the bag tax. So we'll say like, "Did you want a bag?" Because you need to ask. You can't just give somebody a bag. They're being charged for it, so they have to say yes. And the question that we'll sometimes get is it a fun bag?
Yeah.
And the answer is
No.
no. It's a functional bag. But I see why they think that we would have a fun bag.
And to be fair, in the past, we would buy blank brown craft paper bags, and we had a giant Challenger's logo stamp that we'd stamp all the bags with.
Mhm.
A, it's time consuming, messy, and B, it's the wrong logo now.
And C, it only works on paper bags.
Yeah, and D, we have a ton of paper bags that are pre-branded for other things that we were given to use for free, and we will absolutely use free bags over bags you have to pay for.
Oh yeah.
But you've wanted to get like custom shipping boxes.
Yeah, as we do more and more shipping, I think about it. When we ship stuff out, you slap a mailing label on it. But I had requested like stamps and stuff, and you had very nicely designed and got for the store both a Challenger's logo stamp and then a little like Keep Reading Comics stamper that we can put. So at least that stuff is branded a little bit. But, you know, I think about it as we do more and more shipping that it'd be kind of cool to have, since we only really use 2 basic size boxes.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to have like T-folds that have like Challenger's logos on them or something, or, you know, the larger rectangular shipping boxes could be designed in a fun way.
So I thought of what I came up with what I thought was a decent compromise, and all this is spurred on by.
For the record, I'm okay not doing it because I get that it's expensive.
Yeah, and look, I would love to do it as well, but it is the last thing we need to.
Oh God, yeah, no.
But you know, thanks to Instagram ads and things, I investigated what I thought was a neat secondary solution to that, and that is Challenger's branded packing tape.
Yeah, I get stuff from Kill Collectibles, and they use branded tape.
Yeah,
they update it every year with like the new Sentai or Rider show. Also, this is last year for Super Sentai.
Oh, sorry,
50 years. Put it on a hiatus.
You don't care. You don't watch that.
I watched a Sentai show once. Go Busters. It was pretty good.
Go Busters. Who are you gonna call?
Kamen Rider Geats.
So I looked into the packing tape, right? And I found like, oh, this is not that expensive for what you get. And my philosophy was we would use regular packing tape for most of it, but then just put like one band across it.
Yeah,
of the red one
scene
to not waste the packing tape. But so what I had to do was find the packing tape we use now and break it down by cost. Okay. And what we basically pay now is roughly $25 for 12 rolls.
Okay.
So roughly
a little over $2 a roll.
Yeah. So what do you think it costs for one roll of branded tape?
$10.
What would you be comfortable paying, I guess is my question.
I would not be comfortable paying more than $4 a roll.
It was $7 a roll.
Nope.
Yeah. And I had to figure out because they had like, do you want 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch? We use 2-inch tape, and normal. And yeah, it would be $7 a roll.
Nope.
And that was the cheapest. And I didn't even look to see, like, is that just one color? Like, what is the design?
Right. Like, how detailed can you get with what's on the tape?
Yeah.
Because, like, the Toe Collectibles tape, it's not a glossy tape. It's more of like
a paper tape.
A paper tape.
That's what this would be as well.
And it's full color.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool, but it doesn't make me order more stuff from them. It's just, it's neat, but it's not, it doesn't make me order stuff I wouldn't normally order or choose them over another company just because of the tape.
Yeah. And honest to God, whenever I get a box from somewhere, I don't care. But as a shop owner and someone who's super proud of our brand,
right,
I would love those things as well. But
yeah, I think of it like in terms of like a marketing budget where there's things that are kind of invisible but are good for your brand. And in sort of to go all the way back to this podcast, as we talked about at the beginning, the significance of it is not necessarily that it is financially viable as its own piece of entertainment so much as it helps the store become bigger and better than it is.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's an amount of money that if a store had an amount of money, they could push towards intangible things that just make the store feel better or make you more excited about getting a package from Challengers. But that's
I'm jealous of every store that has slick, fancy, reinforced handled carryout bags with their logo on it and like it's a solid blue bag and it's got the cutout handles.
That stuff is 100% what is the average spend. Like, I got a really nice bag when I went to this Machination store when I was in New York.
Yeah. I was there with you.
Thank you, Patrick. The average spend there is probably over $100. So if they're paying $2 for a bag or whatever, it's not as big a deal because the purchase is significantly higher. The average spend at Challengers is not $100. It is significantly less. What I consider still really good for a comic shop.
Sure.
But that means that you have to think a lot smaller about those little like custom intangible things.
What would you say it is? Would you say it's $15? Say it's $25?
It's $30 to $40.
Okay.
I mean, I could, if I wanted to, I could look on my phone and tell you exactly what today's average spend is, but it's Thanksgiving, and that's not going to be super accurate.
Hey, look, to be fair, we are not at $0.
I mean, do you want to know what it was for yesterday? Do you want me to say on the podcast?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think saying average spend per person is not in any way
Today it's $22.
That's still great.
Yeah, but yesterday it was $43.47.
Okay.
That's a Wednesday, though. It's going to be a different thing
Yeah.
than like a Saturday or a Tuesday or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, if our average spend was over $100, it would be easy to justify those sorts of expenditures.
Yeah.
It's not, so we buy black plastic bags in bulk.
And even like we started buying just white bags that said thank you in red on them.
Mhm.
But and this is back when we had a Costco membership, which we don't anymore. One visit, I found black ones and thought these look so much cooler.
Mhm.
And we switched to black. And I think we've mentioned this before, that when we started buying these bags back in the day, 17 plus years ago, it was about $17 for 1,000 bags. And now it's about $45 for 1,000 bags.
Everything is more expensive.
Same exact brand, just, prices go up.
Yeah.
But that's with everything. And looking at now, you're paying, well over double
Mhm.
for those bags. Even back then, if you would have told me we could get 1,000 bags for $45, but with the Challengers logo on, I would have been like, no, let's just spend the $17.
Yeah.
And there's no way. But whenever anybody, and like we often get approached by bag companies or
Sure.
any promotional
A few things a year. I know that Comics Pro has some deals with different companies that do branded merchandise, and they'll have deals around local comic shop day or free comic book day or whatever, where it's like you can get your logo on a vinyl bag or whatever. And it's like, it's cool. Again, just the amount of money just doesn't make sense.
Years ago, we bought a couple of rolls of big round Challenger stickers for free comic day books, because a lot of stores will put the stickers on the books. And I know it's like some places or some customers complain about that because it's ruining the books, but free comic book day has only ever been a marketing tool for the industry. So as the people that are buying the books, they would leave a rectangle for you to put your store stamp on or whatever.
White rectangles so you could stamp your book.
Yeah. So they don't do that so much anymore, but it's not
enough people complain. Enough retailers are like, please don't do this.
It's not unheard of for people to do that. And we bought stickers thinking, oh, we'll do this. But we realized that we get, tens of thousands of books to give away. And just the man hours in doing that and the price for the stickers. So we just use stickers for other things. But we've branched out a little bit in Challengers merch. We've got the I can't remember if they're 2-inch or 3-inch circular C stickers that we sell. We now have tiny little 2-inch iron-on patches of the C, which I ironed one on my jacket this past week.
Nice.
Right? Since I started wearing denim jackets a couple years ago and realized I iron on patches, I'm now, in fact, saving patches for my next jacket, which I have I'm not buying a jacket anytime soon,
but ready to go.
Yeah. I've got an 8 Billion Genies patch.
Oh, cool.
I've got a really great 2 different Kiss patches. Yeah, I now buy iron-on patches, which is a thing I never cared about and thought, like, why would anybody waste marketing on that when you could sell something else?
Why isn't this a pin?
Yeah, right? Now it's like, oh, I like the iron patches. So as Patrick likes something, the store gets it.
Sure.
But no, we're not doing a custom common writers. Those are too expensive.
Okay. Also, it would be copyright infringing.
Well, it's common with COMMON.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it's, it's a basic kids show. That's all.
Toys to Japanese children.
Dal, I was going to ask you if you had any quick suggestions for what people should buy as gifts for Christmas. But then I realized that our entire front table setup is exactly that.
Yeah. In fact, you can go to our website right beneath. So it's going to be some pictures at the top. It's going to be the New This Week books.
Also, at the top of those pictures, there's usually a really fun quote from Dal. Not a quote, but a text block from Dal. And then the second picture has the Challenger's Choice for the week.
Although for Black Friday, it's just going to be
the sale.
That's going to be the only image.
Perfect.
They'll start rotating it on Monday. But anyway, so rotating images at the top, New This Week books. then we have two different things, one that's new and one that's old, that would be exactly where I'd point people to for the holidays. The first one is the new one, and that is a collection I put together of all of the compact comics that have been offered. That's DC's Compact Comics, Marvel's Premier Collection, the smaller Vault books that have been coming out. As soon as we get them, the Oni smaller books, because we have a section of those right by our front counter, and I think they're the perfect thing to grab on your way out if you don't know what you want. And certainly that follows for gifts. If you don't know what somebody's into, these books are like $10 to $15. You're going to get a full story. You're not going to get volume one really of anything. You're going to get a complete thing. And I think that's certainly for people who are shopping for someone who's not a huge purchase for them. A couple of those, you're good to go. And there's a huge variety of what you can pick. So whatever you like in comics, something is going to be available there.
We are quickly going to be out of room for that section.
We're going to be stocking fewer copies.
Yeah.
That's what we usually do for sections, is when something's brand new, it's like, we're going to get 5 and 6. But once they're releasing a ton, it's like 2. You can keep 2 in stock.
Yeah.
We can restock these, or there's a variety to choose from. So it's
going to be more spite out than full face.
For sure. And some of these, like, that section is very full because we took part in a DC promotion to get a standee that just came in.
Oh, wow.
Where we had to order a lot of...
Where did you put it?
In its box on top of the bookshelves, because it came on Wednesday and I had no time to deal with it.
Oh, I was going to say in the back room next to the green Turtles one we got a year ago.
Yeah.
Took that out of its box.
Yeah, no, I'll unpack it probably Saturday just to see what it looks like and if there's anywhere to put it.
Oh, man, you could put Samantha in it entirely.
It was just in the way. But beneath on our website, the Compact Comics display is a full list of our spotlight section, which is what we call our front tables by the door when you walk in. It has 38 different items in there. It's image first volumes. It's self-contained graphic novels. It's some of the best stuff in the last few years that we love. It's things that just came out like last week that we think are great that people shouldn't pass up.
And honestly, when people ask us for recommendations, that is where we start.
Yeah. Because again, like whatever you like, we hopefully have something represented on the front table. Whatever genre you're into, whatever you like in comics, even if you're not like a big fan of like comic storytelling, hey, let's make bread. There you go.
Yeah.
Or the AEW, This Is All Elite.
This book is all elite. Yeah. Which would have been my pick if we were doing individual suggestions, but
it's on the front page of our website. So that's the stuff I'd usually recommend. But like the quick hits for things that I think a lot of people are probably going to end up picking up, or I'd maybe recommend Absolute Martian Manhunter just came out.
Yeah.
People have been asking about that for months. When's the first volume going to be coming out? Well, it's out in softcover and hardcover. Collects the first 6 issues. It's one of the best DC books right now. Next to it, Absolute Wonder Woman we have on our front table. That is my pick for probably my favorite ongoing comic book right now.
Yeah.
That first arc especially is faultless. It's so good. And those are on our front table.
It's true. It cannot be faulted.
Mm-hmm.
So many different sections you mentioned now in my head. I'm like, what if I got a custom domain that was like challengerspotlight.com and it just went right there?
I don't think
no one uses those. I've bought way too many custom domains in the past.
It's like doing a QR code for that and putting that on the front table. It's like people can just go to the website. It's like it's 2 inches down from the top of the screen.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
Well, you do a really good job keeping the website fresh and updated. And
thanks. I tried to update it all together recently, and I found out that the new iteration of the template we use is borked.
Oh.
I was ready to switch it over. I think it was after the Tiny Onion event, maybe. I was like, oh, we have a little bit of space to work on the website before like the shopping season hit.
Yes, we in quotes. That means Dal and Ty.
But there were key things that didn't work. And I approached the developer about it, and they're like, oh, that's okay. That's a bug. We'll fix that in the next update. And it's like, well, that doesn't help me right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to upgrade my website.
Nope.
But there's a few things that they do where I'm like, oh, this could be kind of fun to have that functionality on the site, but not at the cost of other things working.
We need everybody to go in and refresh their Challengers Choices sections, or Gina builds your library section.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, everybody's forgotten how to. So it needs to have a refresher with it.
What I think I'd like to do is just have everybody say, like, just give me 20 books.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need you to go through and tag the whole library. Just give me 20 books. But here's the thing that I'm going to shit talk our employees just for a second, because it's the thing that slightly bothers me. One of the things that we have in the store on our big comics wall is individual recommendations.
Yeah.
There was a Patrick thing that he really wanted us to do.
Yep.
And they rotate around, they move around. Now, one, they don't move around as often as we would like them to. We frequently have to tell people, hey, can you please move your recommendation to a new spot? Because they just kind of forget about it, even though they walk by it over, hours that they'll be in the store for a shift. The problem I see frequently is when I say, hey, can you please move this to a new section? It's been on this one book for like 2 months. Inevitably, amongst our entire roster of people who help us, their signs are only ever rotating between like 6 goddamn books.
Yep. Everybody
If one more person picks Absolute Wonder Woman or like, I don't even want to name them all. It's a bunch of books where I'm like, Gina, you just picked this book that Lizzie moved her sign off of a month ago. Like, I get it. This is a good book and we like it, but Jesus Christ, there's got to be other stuff.
Yeah, but you can't expect people to know what other people had picked.
No, and I'm not mad at them so much as I'm mad at the idea of it.
Yeah.
How, like, yes, there are books that are almost objectively better than other ones, but we need to spread this stuff out a little bit.
There are at least 3 of our employees who don't read periodicals.
Right.
And that is an issue giving them picks. Also,
I don't even know where I'm going to put Donovan's now because I had to take Great British Bake Off the shelf.
Oh, yeah.
Collection's out, babe.
Yep.
Where's it going to go? I think she's picking like Dungeons and Dragons now or something. No, I had it on Dungeons and Dragons because it was like the next shelf, the next wall over to move it that far. But then I put it on Die Loaded #1. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe she'd like Die.
Sure. There was a book I got her to read recently. She's like, I can't remember what it was. But there's 2 staff members we are short pick signs for.
Mm-hmm.
And again, not throwing anybody under the bus, but the artists we use to do all of those, I wanted to use the same person so they all look the same, like the same style. So I reached out to them back in April to do Ashley's one, and then again a bit ago for Kate.
Sure. Nothing yet?
I was told I would get something in September.
Throw anybody on
I was told I was going to get something in October. I got pencil roughs in early November. And I'm like, all right, this one is great. This one just changed this. Nothing since then. Yeah. So unfortunately, Ashley's tenure at the store is kind of over because she started working, got pregnant, and then now is on maternity leave.
Right.
And I don't know that they'll be back next year.
We have 2 employees on maternity leave.
I know. I was always saying after 17 plus years of no Challengers babies, now there's 2 at once.
Yeah. 2025 was a very fertile year.
Yeah, Stella gave birth already. And Ashley is due like 2 weeks.
I was just surprised that Stella named her kid Captain Christopher Pike. Like as 3 names and then her last
I thought it was 1. Captain Christopher Pike, Clark, last name. Last name.
No, it's Captain and then Christopher Pike is hyphen.
Oh, okay. Lots of hyphens in that kid's name. Well, congratulations.
I don't even think she likes Strange New Worlds.
I don't know.
I know she don't like the Kirk on that show. I'm pretty sure we talked about that. I think he does a good job. I didn't watch a lot of the new season because I thought it didn't work very well. But I liked the first 3 seasons.
Stopped watching Star Trek during Deep Space Nine.
Well, Patrick, you got a few weeks. You can start catching up.
I only started watching Next Generation because of the woman I was dating at the time. Then I watched all of Next Gen.
I think it's very progressive that you were a guy that got into Star Trek because a girl you were dating was into it.
Yeah.
When like back in the 90s or whatever,
which is when this was,
it would have been reversed. It would have been traditionally, but you were ahead of your time. You were not gatekeeping. You were being gate kept.
I was kept, man. This brings up so talking about the past in the early 90s. That's kind of a somber note. Way back in the day, in our previous job, for a brief period of time, we worked with a colleague named Linda. And Linda passed away 2 weeks ago now.
Tragically and suddenly.
Yeah. I don't know how much of a downer it is to say she was killed in a hit and run car accident in LA. And they did not catch the person that did it. But yeah, we've known Linda since she graduated college in like 91.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was fortunate I was still in touch with her to this, I was going to say to this day, but like we last talked in June she'd sent me a photo of Junji Ito dress she was wearing.
Nice.
And I was complimenting it, and she was trying to talk me into getting one of my own.
Well, now you have to, Pat.
Well, it's black meltdown. You know I can't afford the last request. They're very expensive, and they don't go in my size.
They're stretchy, right? Maybe a stretchy fabric.
Well, you're thinking of the leggings. This is a dress. It's a different.
We'll get the leggings then, Patrick.
I don't know that they do Junji Ito ones. Also, there's a bunch of Kiss leggings out now, and both the Paul Stanley and the Ace Frehley ones look really good.
Uh-huh.
I don't wear leggings.
No. I guess you could start.
Well, so they don't go up to my size. But yeah, so Linda, thanks for everything, and you're definitely missed. Jesus, to end the podcast that way.
Is that what you're thankful for?
I'm thankful I got to know her.
Yeah, that's good.
Thankful that I knew her for 30 plus years.
There you go.
30,
That's more positive.
35, 34, 33 or 34 years. Back when she lived in Downers Grove.
Yeah, Downers Grove, Illinois.
And then they
made a movie about Downers Grove, Illinois, and then they filmed it in California. So a lot of the comments on IMDb are like, yeah, Downers Grove, known for its palm trees.
Yeah. Her dad was a bat scientist. Do you remember our Batman Adventures Day with Rick Burchett and Mike Parabek?
I remember that there was one. I don't think I could tell you any details about it.
I recently showed you a photo of you dressed up in your shirt and tie for that day.
Oh, wow.
Really young Dale Bush. But he showed up all excited because it was a bat-themed day.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when Linda was on vacation.
I too would have been more excited if it was Man Bat Day.
Yeah. Did I tell you what Alice had said about Man Bat?
No.
So Alice is Linda's younger sister, and they would come in the store together. And in talking with Alice after Linda's passing, Alice said they would occasionally reminisce about this particular event and laugh about it. And because their dad was a bat doctor, and this was when the Batman adventure figures were just spectacular. They had the Man Bat with the wings and the button you push in his back.
Sure.
And we had one for sale, but it was very expensive. And they were both, one of them was complaining loudly, and Alice can't remember which one of it was, that it cost too much. And they were really disappointed over that. And apparently I said to them, well, no one put a gun to your head and said, you have to buy this figure.
Wow.
I have no recollection of that, but I don't doubt it.
Comic book guy.
Yeah, right? No one put a gun to your head and said, you have to buy Man Bat.
It was a different time.
Oh, also, I was going to say, when she was on vacation in Japan, I was watching her rabbit for her, and it died on my watch.
Wow.
And
harsh.
Yeah, so I had this giant cage in my basement with this rabbit, and it died. And
unlucky.
So I called her dad. I'm like, hey, the rabbit died. He's like, well, bring it back. Bring it home.
Now back to life.
Yeah. So I'm loading.
I can't.
Got this cage with this dead rabbit in it, and I'm loading it into the back of my
tiny blue car.
Yeah, my tiny blue Ford Escort. And in the townhome community I live, there were some kids out there playing, and I couldn't see them because I'm just carrying this cage, and I hear one kid go, "That bunny's dead."
It is.
But so then it turns out that Linda's dad, Dr. Ronald Pine, autopsied the rabbit.
Okay.
And it choked to death on a hairball, because rabbits are always grooming themselves, and all the hair just gathered.
So you couldn't have prevented it.
Right. I didn't cause it, but yeah.
So he didn't find the poison. A lot of people are trying to poison it.
A lot of people are trying to poison Max Caster. And Linda took it in stride, and she goes, well, bunnies die.
You were both too morbid.
Nobody put a gun to that bunny's head and said, buy a Man Bat figure. All right, we are off the rails. I hope you had a lovely Thanksgiving. Welcome to the Christmas shopping season at Challengers.
Yeah.
We are here. Dal is here. Everybody else except for Patrick is here for your every shopping need, except Christmas Eve, when I will be back.
Yes.
And
all of your last minute shopping needs and your most perplexing gift-giving questions will be handled by Patrick and Patrick alone.
Yeah.
To make up for all the other days of the shopping season.
And I'm just going to point to all the compact comics and say, get these. We three. Boom. You're done.
Last day of Christmas shopping is always the most I don't want to say annoying because it's just too mean, but the questions are always.
They've left their hardest gift getters or gift givers to the last second.
Yeah, the supporting documentation they have for their questions is monumentally unhelpful. I got somebody that I need to get a gift for, and I think they like stories with adverbs. Do you have any of those? Like, it can't be in the title. It's got to be in the story. And it's like,
To be clear, it's not about adverbs.
and I
it just has adverbs in it.
I need it to be between $13.45 and $14.18. Exactly. It's got to be right in that range.
It doesn't help that people constantly hear you singing, lolly, 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 get your adverbs here.
Yeah, so far, I'm trying to think of any, like, we've had requests, but honestly, like, I've had a good time with, like, either people asking for something where I'm like, oh, I know exactly what to recommend, or, yeah, I'm looking for Comey Can't Communicate. Do you have that? Like, yeah, we should have some volumes in our manga section. You know, we don't necessarily have every one. Oh, I'm looking for 5 through 8. We have 5 through 8. Oh, great. Okay, this was super easy. Wow.
I really liked the concept of Comey Can't Communicate in the beginning, but oh my God, that book is still going.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, somebody had already asked for, like, do you have One Piece Volume 18? And it's like, we got a lot of One Piece. We don't have Volume 18.
Yeah.
We have, like, some of the 3-in-1s. We got a bunch of the recent volumes.
Which are in the over 100.
110 just came out.
Yeah.
So, no, we don't have just Volume 18.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So that we'll see how the holiday shopping season goes. But, yeah, we've got some good options for people on the website and in the store. If you are looking for something else, we're always here to help.
Thanks for listening.
Keep reading comics.
This has been Contest of Challengers. Thanks for listening. Keep reading comics. Challengers is located at 1845 Northwestern Avenue in the Bucktown neighborhood of Chicago. 773-278-0155. Keep up to date with new releases and events at challengerscomics.com. And help fund this podcast at patreon.com/challengers.